G'day, welcome back to the channel. Bit of an update for you at 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday here in New Zealand. First of all, CAA. Now remember, I did send an email to one of the executives at CAA. I think he's Acting Director of Safety, so I'm not sure what the title is, but Dean Winter, sent him an email last week. Got a reply on Saturday, which means they're working overtime. That's great. So Mr. Winter replied to my email saying basically, well, you know, they have worked with other groups and bodies in the past with the goal of enhancing safety. So with that in mind, they're going to look at my offer and get back to me. Hey, I mean, that's a really good first step. I'm very happy with that. CAA have, a lot of people said, you'll never hear from them, but no, you give people the benefit of the doubt. Even large bureaucracies, you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Let them, you know, give them the opportunity to do what they're going to do. And in this case, they have stepped up to the plate. Haven't grabbed the bat yet, but they've stepped up to the plate. So let's see what happens. Let's back off. Let's leave them to make their decision. Got to show the authority that we are responsible, that we are not just a bunch of, you know, rednecks. We've got to act responsibly now. So just no more communications with CAA. Thanks. I didn't ask people to do that in the first place, and I really would rather that people just sat back and watched. And let's see what happens. Let's give them the opportunity to show how good they are at what they do. Let's do that. Speaking of aviation regulators, we've got the FAA in the USA. Now, you'll recall that they appropriated some of my video, used it in one of their safety videos. I didn't have a problem with that, except there was no attribution, and they cropped out my watermark. So I did the video. FAA obviously saw that video and the many comments they got on their own videos. And what did they do? Well, I gave them some tips as to how to handle a situation like that. You know, acknowledge, apologize, and, you know, come up with a solution to redress the issue. They didn't do any of that. They took down the video and they didn't acknowledge, didn't apologize, didn't try and put it right. They simply had the video re-edited at a cost to somebody, probably the US taxpayer, and they put it up again with different footage. It's not the way to do it, really isn't. Because also last week I found another channel that had used that same piece of video, and I reached out to them and I said, oh, look, you appear to have used some of my video without attribution and without permission. And they came back and said, we're very sorry. Oh, my goodness. Yes, we have used that incorrectly. Oh, and we'd like to offer you a $300 license fee for the use of it. Well, the 3 steps. These people, this isn't a big government organisation with money to burn. This is just a YouTube channel. Now, okay, that video that they used my footage in has been seen over 1 million times, so they'll probably earn $2,000 or $3,000 from it. So they could probably afford to throw me $300, but I'm not chasing dollars here. I mean, as people who watch this channel know, I'm not a money-focused guy. The reason I run these channels is to promote the hobby, to support the hobby, and to enhance safety. Those are the reasons. It's not to get rich. There are much better ways of getting rich than running little YouTube channels. So I was so impressed with the response that these people gave me that I said, no, don't worry about money. I'm not interested in the money. Just put an attribution, put a link in the description of your video to my original footage, and we'll call it quits. That's what happened. Resolved. In a matter of minutes, we resolved the whole issue. They're happy. I'm happy. The video's still up. People are watching it. And they're using my footage with permission. Why couldn't the FAA do the same? I'd made that offer to the FAA. I said, if you just put an attribution, you're welcome to use that footage in your safety video. But no, they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. Oh, let's recut the entire video. This is the problem I have with some bureaucracies. They just don't think straight. They just don't think straight. I mean, seriously, that a private YouTube channel could do the right thing while the US-funded authority couldn't get over themselves to actually do the right thing, and therefore they incurred extra costs. It beggars belief. I really don't understand how these people get a job. How do they stay in a job? Anyway, enough of that. So this week I'll be rolling out a couple of safety things. We've got the ADS-B belt alarm, which will alert you when there's aircraft coming. It's a really huge piece of safety equipment. I talked about this on my RC Model Reviews channel. I've been doing the development here, and I'm almost ready to release the firmware, the software and everything, and so people can build them themselves. Really simple build, really simple to set up. And it's a huge step forward. It means that if you're flying in an area where there could be aircraft, your little belt alarm will go off when an aircraft comes within a predetermined distance at a predetermined height or lower. Fantastic. It gives you situational awareness that you wouldn't otherwise have. So that's a very positive, very tangible, very effective step forward in safety. And I'd like to think that CAA might get on board with that because, as with most other countries in the world, the fitting of ADS-B to manned aircraft is becoming mandatory in many areas. still not mandatory in Class G airspace, but it's mandatory in many other areas. So a lot of aircraft have ADS-B, which means they become visible to the belt alarm. Super safety thing. Also, starting to roll out some of my safety videos. First one, situational awareness. What it is, how to achieve it, what happens when you don't achieve it, and the things that can enable you to get more situational awareness more easily. So that's it's a safety video aimed at model flyers. But hey, manned aviation could do with a watch as well, because they seem to have a bigger problem with situational awareness than we do. So that's where we're up to early on a Monday morning here in New Zealand. Had a good weekend, flying wise. It was cold, it was not very pleasant, but people flew. You saw the video on this channel. And now I've got another full week's work to do, get on with that. I've got RC model reviews. Watch out, there's a review coming of the Flip video goggles, OLEDs. Everyone else has reviewed them. Everything arrives a month late here at the moment with the CV19 problem. Other reviewers got these things a month ago. Mine only arrived late last week. And you want to watch that review. It's an eye-opener. Honestly, seriously, it's an eye-opener. I have to say I've never seen a worse product arrive on my bench. And we'll see why I've never seen a worse product arrive on my bench. On the other hand, I test flew the Detrim, the flight controller, which has got the recovery mode and the return to home. Perfect. It was brilliant. Lovely product. Worked really, really well. So those two reviews coming up this week on RC Model Reviews. Watch out for those. In the meantime, as I say, a lot of work to do here. And the day is creeping on, so I better get back to it. Thank you, my Patreon supporters. You make it all possible. Bye for now. Hi there. Today we're going to talk about situational awareness and the important role it plays in safety.